But one company, a very iconic company in India, really took upon them to rethink the very idea of this dichotomy that we face every day, an LOS versus the lead magnet system. I'm very happy to present one of our case studies of one iconic brand in India leading this change.
The times have changed. The bikes have changed. Bajaj bikes are faster, smoother and more efficient than ever before. Even the way you got that loan has become faster, smoother and more efficient.
When we looked at Bajaj Auto Finance customer acquisition, we realized we need to make significant changes from where we stand today. We needed to integrate acquisition of customers at dealerships and other locations in the field. We needed to integrate document flow with our operations backend, with our credit backend on a real-time basis. And we took a target that we should be able to approve a loan for a customer in less than 30 seconds.
Buying a bike today is a very, very emotional feeling for any individual, specifically bikes like ours. And today, the financing is all about superior turnaround time, superior technology, digitalization, and moving from physical world to virtual world.
We looked at an all-new acquisition platform, and we found when we looked at various vendors that CRM Next was the best partner to work with.
Our journey with CRM Next started when we realized that we need to have a very strong and robust LOS system. So at that time we evaluated CRM Next and we signed up with them. What CRM Next brought to us is a very strong and a stable platform. It offered high flexibility and has a great scalability option. We have automated end-to-end origination process. It helped bringing in tools like BRE, which helped in doing 100% credit decisioning through system. So we have come up with a 3-minute decisioning process, which is a complete success for us. The implementation has been smooth.
Today, CRM Next is available to almost all our dealers and sub-dealers, making our loan process seamless and absolutely fun.
We are dealers for Bajaj Auto for the last 14 years. Because of this addition of CRM Next, we are very happy because the speed required for the finance, the speed and the customer satisfaction required is become very easy to handle also, and we can see the business growth because of this.
We have automated rule engines that work at the back, which are driven by our credit team. We have automated operations engine that validates certain data, that check consistency in our own databases and across other finance company databases. We're also extremely happy with the fact that CRM Next have a system of upgrading their software on an automatic basis, and where all the developments and changes that Bajaj Auto Finance has done to the software are automatically updated. I do believe that over a period of time, this kind of integrated approach between a retailer, a financier and an auto OE will be the way to go forward for the automobile and the auto finance business.
It has given a wow factor to our customers.
This 3-minute approval system has been a game changer.
So I have with me today one of the CIOs who really took that early bet. Welcome. Okay, this is the mic for you. Now, many people in the crowd will look at what he did and first think you guys are crazy because I would do that. Right? But they also would want to know if is this like a simpler LOS or is it really LOS like a whole LOS?
This LOS particularly has got data capturing. What we have done here is image-based dual data entry to reduce the errors which happens in the front end. It has got a rule engine, which is our credit, which we have developed rules into this. It's a system-based business decision which is happening now. There is no manual intervention happening at all. End-to-end, once the data is present, the system gives you the decision. So it has got all
down to complete check collection and even issues in plus and then. So it's really everything plus plus.
It's everything, even the deviations that happens also handled in the system. Payment information captured in the system. All that being done, whatever is recorded in the front end is done in the system.
Awesome. And just for everybody's understanding, I mean, you also kind of created a direct digital entry for the retailers. So there is an option for them really not to go through the scan and but really directly enter and get, that's what's powering a 3-minute decision.
That's right.
Awesome. Great. So thank you once again. A big hand for people who read this thing and judge. The reason why we wanted to show you some of this case study is because Bajaj worked with us tirelessly to really move more and more of their small ticket loan into an autonomous or automatic approval process. So I remember when we started this journey, there was less than almost 38% which went through and everything was eyeballing. And I think now, today, it's almost 80% or something which goes automatic, untested, unreviewed. And that's the kind of difference you can do with technologies like these. 80% unassisted, autonomous approvals at Bajaj. So awesome. Now, one of the other things I want to leave you, because this is the 5th tenet of how you can fast track your innovation, is that all these things that I'm showing you can be used together as a Lego block, and that compounds the capability for them to disrupt. Now, typically, if you were to be on a BPM, that would be 128 processes. Using the power and the flexibility of ScreenFlow and the flexibility of auto flow, we achieved the entire 128 in less than 31 processes. That's the kind of simplification technologies like this can do, and that's how much compounding problems and advantages are available to you. So once again, you can really start to rethink everything that you do with customers right at the heart. Sales, service, direct, indirect, all that. Now, that was some 5 things I wanted to show you. Now, of course, there's a lot more, but of course we have limited time. I don't want to be standing between you and your drinks. The next part is modeling change. So while you're doing these changes, you really need to look at how to enable your workforce, because digital can be disruptive. It's a new thing for workforce. Workforce have to pick up their productivity, and really at the heart of what you're trying to do with all this system is push up that productivity for your workforce. And that brings us to our next challenge of how do you model change. And I'm going to start with the most fundamental unit of modeling change, a problem that everybody tries to solve, and it's called cross-selling. Everybody spends millions setting up cross-selling infrastructure. In fact, they don't have 1, 2, but they have many systems to predict this. But there is a problem. The problem is that 5 of your systems never agree what to cross-sell to your customer. And every system that you use comes up with its own set of advisory. And how do you take all this and you push it in an interaction that lasts a few seconds? And that's really the core of what we did with Trinity Cross-Sell Modeler. We allowed you an interception that really tapped into all your investments. And you could wire up your process infrastructure with us. You could wire up your machine learning infrastructure with us. As well, you could wire up your product design with us. So think of it. We're trying to learn through machines when we have a product design team that is creating products that really suit the segment. What if you could marry all that? What if you could make it really as simple as to start to know these are the processes that are kind of applicable. These are the ones where I have an offer. Because remember, offers could be lots of pre-approved offers. Single click, print, sell, and you have a sale. And these are high probability of sales. And this is what the Trinity Cross-Sell Modeler does. It allows you to bring together machine learning. And the great thing with our machine learning is it's not tied into one platform. And what's really great about this implementation is that the first one went live in 4 months, and then we kind of followed a drop schedule of every 4 months, and in less than a year, the entire bank went on. But what's really surprising for us also was the power of this catalyst performance model that we were saying. Because on a per lead generated by workforce matrix, Axis Bank today is generating 3 times that of our average customer. That's huge. And that's the part of thinking that you can bring with modelers to your workforce, really think and plan the story. So really, let's quickly summarize what I was showing you. I was showing you stuff that you could do to fast track innovation. I showed you 5 models there. And I showed you 3 things that can really help you challenge your workforce to do more with the time that you start to free up. And the final stage of this is how do you give control to the customers? I'm going to go back to the point that we really believe is the future. In the future, we really believe it's this whole machine to machine and how you design processes for the machine to the machine run. And one of the truths about your customer is that he's really jumping across channels to finish what you traditionally thought was one transaction. So let's stay on this point a little. It's really not important where you started the transaction. Almost 64% of your customers are not finishing some of these fundamental new-to-bank acquisitions on the same channel that they started from, which essentially means that things like omni-channel is status quo today for your innovations. But let's go back. If you want to put them in control, you need to start to craft customer journeys. For you to craft customer journey in this machine-to-machine learning world, you need to do better decision support. And for this to kind of change and happen, you need to be able to talk to your internal system in new ways, right? So really, if you really want to achieve the outcome of giving control to your customers, you need to start by looking at how you work with your other business systems and how do you start to coexist this innovation with them. And that's where we bring to you a brand new version of Autonoma Integration 2.0. And think of 2.0 as a way to integrate using many pre-assembled patterns that you can visually kind of drag and drop and create the kind of jobs that you are looking for. And the amazing part of this is that it's completely loaded. It understands many things already, so you'll be surprised at how much of code goes out of your integration. But what's really interesting is we're working to create what we call as national provider patterns. So think of this. In India, you're going to get patterns like eKYC, patterns like civil lookup, patterns like IGMS if you're insurance, built within this framework. So that kind of moves away and becomes one less hurdle to consume in your framework of innovation. And what's amazing is that we enhance the managed capability of this environment. So as we wire this up, every transaction is being cured, every transaction is being logged, and you can do a host of things with each of these integrations. So it really souped up your entire capability now to connect your backend, not just at the end stages, but in between as you orchestrate. So if you have control on your integration, then the next question obviously is, how do we make decisioning simple? So with this version, we introduced to you David. David is a decisioning system. It marries what we have learned so well with our customers on the next generation decisioning. It kind of starts where your BRE left. And what we're going to do with this decision system is we're making it learn more things. So think of it, it can do structured learning, you can bring in machine learning, and you can bring all of this together by drag and dropping and creating rules that your business guys can understand. And then you can use these and as a part of your innovation. And this is the heart of this, is what Bajaj used for their movement of fast tracking or making their underwriting more autonomous. So once again, finally, the one that I'm really excited for, and that's really the last thing we want to show you before we leave you for your experience booth, is the fact, and just before I go to that, is of course you can create this and you can use it as a part of your flow, and obviously it does miracle, because between the two of them, what you're really doing is you're creating complete zero-touch process, or as close to zero-touch as you can. So the next part and the last part is, how do you start to create these craft pictures? And we spent over the last 5 years working with leaders building their journeys, and we really learned a lot. The fundamental learning that we had was this was new to business. So as business owners change, they wanted to try out more things. So really, you're trying to make sense of disruption. You really have these ideas, you want those ideas to play out, and you're never sure of them, so you really needed a high capability to change. Second thing you learned was this is your pure customer-facing system, so it had to be as critically aligned in your uptime as you have your core. So we present to you one of the most innovative journeys that this sector has seen, one that has really set reviews on wildfire, and one that you can really go to the public side of HDFC Bank and look at how they did this journey. So this is an amazing, amazing journey. You know, this bank has been doing tremendous work. Last 7 years transforming, moving to digital, taking up the cultural issues, taking up the innovation issues, an amazing run. But at the heart of it are two key ideas. The first idea is, what is omnichannel? Clearly understood. To us, omnichannel is something where you can move between channels with the same simplicity as we call it the start, stop, resume.